Hey everybody! Welcome back to this special edition of Tales of Rebirth. I wanted to show a little bit of the some of the side quests that are tricky. Some of the main ones that maybe people would have trouble with, and I kind of wanted to show how to do them. So this is the Salvage one. If you remember from the walkthrough, we did one of these already as part of the story, and afterward talk to Maro in his house, and he'll give you new coordinates, and you can see there's like a little shiny thing down there in the ocean, and you got to get right above it in just the right place and hit the X button to salvage it. You'll know you got it when you get the happy noise. I grabbed a fish there just now, so that was a miss. Come on. Nope. There we go. So I grabbed the treasure, and the little sparkle that's down underwater will disappear. So you know you got it. And you might have to do quite a few battles fighting fish, while you're doing that. I cut most of them out. But as soon as you grab the treasure, just go ahead and go back to Maro's place. And I'll show you where that is. And he will have new coordinates for you. Well, we'll open the chest, we'll get something, and then we'll just get a quiz on the next part of Ifrit's treasure. So this is kind of Ifrit's treasure mini quest. So this is Maro's house, and he's the blue-haired guy. And you'll always sit the treasure down, you'll open it up, and you'll get something plus another quiz, basically. So it's a continuous treasure hunt. But the items are actually pretty good, so I recommend doing this. And when you talk to him right after, he'll be frustrated and say he's working on the puzzle, for the next coordinate, for the next treasure. So you have to kind of go and do something. Go and fight some enemies, or, maybe enter a dungeon, or, maybe advance the story just a little bit. You just have to do something, some activity, and then you can come back. And so I skipped myself just playing around for a bit, and then when you go back to Maro, he'll give you new coordinates, and on the map you can update your little arrow there and just go to where the marker is, and you'll see the little sparkly thing underwater again. And once again, we got to try to grab it. There it is. It's a little hard to see. And also there's a little bit of a whirlpool effect when you get near the treasure. So you notice I'm moving kind of chaotically. It's because the water is actually moving me around. And I got a fish. So, there's kind of a current that... Oh, I got it right away. There'll be a bit of a current, so at least you'll know you're in the right spot. And then when you get the treasure chest, the current that's pushing the boat around will kind of disappear. So that's another, hint that you got it right. And then we'll go back to shore. Get off, and we'll go talk to Maro again. Rinse and repeat. And then Maro will be frustrated, with the next puzzle, and he'll tell you, oh, I'll work on it, and you gotta go do something while he solves it and then come back, etc., etc., until you get the ultimate treasure at the end, which I'll leave that as a surprise. But that's basically how you do this mini quest. It's kind of fun, actually. I really liked doing it, and you got to use the boat, which you normally don't use very much. So this time you can see I got a little bit more valuable, some more valuable items out of the chest. But it's not the one we're looking for. This is not the chest you're looking for. See, and he'll be frustrated. He'll be working on the next one. So this time let me show you exactly kind of how it works. So I went and did some stuff, and he's got the new coordinates, and he says from Norzen to the west and north of Balka. So if you know where Balka is, in Norzen, you can always choose the first option on the list, and he tells you the two towns. So west of Norzen and north of Balka. And then basically do it right here, right while you're standing beside him. And you want to draw the two lines on the map. So let's go to Balka. Where's Balka? Okay, so here's Balka. Hold the L1 button and you draw a line on the map with the cursor. And then here's Norzen over here. Hold L1 and draw a line. And where those two lines cross, line your cursor up and hit the circle button, and that'll update your arrow. So, and right about there is where the treasure is. And we're going to go find it. And basically that's what you do every time. And it starts to get a little complicated. He'll say like southwest, northwest. So you got to draw a diagonal line. And then, a straight line plus a diagonal line. And where those two cross, that's where the treasure is. And you can get a lot of fish this way too, but you can see the sparkle underneath the boat there. I'm trying to grab it here. Kind of get it right under the keel. Oh, there we go. I got it faster than expected. So as soon as your boat stops, moving all over the place, you got it. Alright, so we got it, and we'll head on back. Rinse and repeat. Give it to Maro. And I think there's about, 6? I can't remember exactly. Maybe 6 or 7 different coordinates before you find the final treasure. But as you notice, you start to get nice stuff. This time we got some armor out of the chest. And you'll get nicer and nicer items as you go. One word of warning though, make sure you do this mini quest before entering the final dungeon. Because when you enter the final dungeon, Maro won't be there anymore. And so it's a mini quest that needs to be finished by a certain time. So it's kind of a missable quest. And that's why I put it on there. Also, just for fun. So after that, a salvage quest, which you can try the rest of those. I hope you have fun with it. I wanted to show you the secret village. A lot of Tales games, have a secret village. Well, this one's not really so secret. It's on this separate island. Rabbit's village. You can only get here with Shalrun. But let me just show you what you can do here. There's just some funny comments about wanting to eat this little thing, which looks like a mushroom, and it's like, no, I don't want to be eaten. No, don't eat me. And he talks about, this is the rabbit village, and Mao asks, are you human? There's a little game you can play with this guy. If you remember the game, or not game, but kind of puzzle that we did, like the orange is not to the left of the red, or the red definitely doesn't have the blue on the left of it, etc. We did that kind of puzzle in the jail cell section of the walkthrough. Remember when our characters were put in jail? Well, basically, this little puzzle is just, arrange the people. So Vague is saying, to the right of me is Eugene. And Eugene says, Mao is definitely not to the left of me. So that's the incorrect answer. And Mao doesn't give any hint. So you have this time limit, and you can push the circle button to see that if you got it right. And it'll tell you if one person's right or two people are right, or I was just messing around. I failed this time. It's kind of pathetic failing with only 3. But it gets harder. They'll add more characters, to the puzzle. So you can do it with 4, and then 5, and then 6. All 6 party members. And I think they even had Claire in there. You can flip a switch to let a cat into the house. I'm still not sure what that does. If anybody knows, tell me in the comments. Don't know what climbing this rope does either. Talking to this guy, he'll play all the death quotes for you. Like all the... That's the quote that, everybody died. And, nobody was left behind. Basically all the game over quotes. All the different game over quotes in the different voices. And the other rabbits in there will tell you stuff, show you some stuff. There's some items from other Tales games that he'll show you if you give him the Maneki Neko. And then talk to this guy in the back, and you can watch all the animations from the game. So just choose one. And you can just watch all the cutscenes. He's kind of hidden back there. Kind of secretly hiding in the back there. But it's pretty cool. You can watch the opening, you can watch the ending, and you can watch all the game cutscenes. If you punch this rabbit thing over here, he gets mad. And that rabbit won't play the mini game with you anymore. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that for fun. That's the secret island. Completely not necessary. And here's another mini quest that is completely not necessary. There's this place on the map that people are suspicious about. Or it is pretty suspicious. You never go here, and there's no reason to go here. But this is actually a mini quest. And, I really don't think the rewards are worth it, to be totally honest, but for completionist's sake, You know, you come here and you'll find everybody's floating. And you can find Franz, and he's here, you know, because this is one of the mysteries of the world that he always searches for, the Maboroshi, you know, whatever. And basically this used to be a village, and there's only one resident left here, and everybody left because, you know, everybody's floating around like, you know, we are. It's really hard to walk. It's like being on ice. You go in this house and this Gajima girl will be here, who has some force powers, and she'll explain that her force powers are the power of feather or float, and she can't control them. So Hane no force, I guess, or Hane no force, I guess, the force of feather, but it's kind of the force of floating. And so the mini quest is to help her out, to kind of help her get control of her force. And I'm running against the edge here because there's a hole there and I don't want to fall off the edge. But your characters will have a conversation, you know, about helping her out and, you know, wondering what we can do for her. And, you know, maybe we can, you know, let's sometimes come here and see how she's doing. And, you know, once again, it's one of those things you got to leave and kind of, you know, go do something else for a while. And then when you come back, things will be different. So actually, this one and the Salvage one are pretty good to do together. You can go talk to her and then go talk to Maro, and he should be ready for the next Salvage. Then come back here and do something new. So I jumped back over here. I skipped a step, guys. I came back here once, and she wanted to try the mushroom soup from tea tray. Yeah, you don't want to fall off there. So you remember we picked up all those mushrooms with tea tray? So the first step is to go back to that place where we got all those mushrooms and pick a bunch, and then come back here and tea tray will make soup for the girl, and she'll like that so much that she starts growing mushrooms there, as you saw. So sorry I didn't get that step recorded, but and then leave and do something else for a while. But yeah, that was the first step, is when you come back, tea tray will offer to cook her some food, and so he does the mushroom soup. So you just have to go to that place, you know, where all the mushrooms were, and pick the mushrooms. Actually, let me maybe I'll try to show it to you guys, the location. I'm going to go to Minal here first, but I'm pretty sure everybody that watched the walkthrough remembers where the mushrooms are. You go to the same place and there's lots of mushrooms growing. I'll show you later. But the next step, let's go ahead and do the next step for her. And that would be the library. So after cooking the food, you know, with tea tray and the mushrooms, the girl wants to read a book. And this is kind of annoying. This is like a quest in a quest. Talk to this guy in the library in Minal, and he'll give you the library card. And he's saying a bunch of people haven't returned their books. And so he's going to ask us, you know, could you go and get these books back? So there was a long dialogue there, and I'm going to try to skip as quick as possible, but he hinted that the book... Whoops. He hinted the book was here in Minal. Somebody's got a book that needs to be returned to the library. And the guy in here standing behind the desk has the book. So you'll see a scene and this green thing will pop up, and so you know you got the book back. This is the legendary book mini quest, which is, quite annoying. Oh, and talking to this guy when you've gotten discoveries. I've gotten quite a bit of discoveries in the world. He gives you items. So that's why he's giving me a bunch of stuff. It's because of the discoveries I've made. Just give you a bunch of items. If you've made like 5 or 6 world discoveries, and then you come back here, you'll get a bunch of items all at once for each of those. But anyway, I'm going to show you this whole book quest because, it's kind of annoying, but you have to go through the entire quest just to get the book you want, just to give it to the girl in that floating village. So we give the book back, and he says thank you. And then he's like, would you help? You have to talk to him again. And he'll say, would you get another book for me? And you say yes. And then he'll say it's in Sunnytown, and a Gajima woman has it. So this is really annoying because, there's a lot of Gajima ladies. So here we are in Sunnytown, and I'll show you where to go to deliver the book. We're going to go in here to the kind of shop, and it's this Gajima girl standing here in the shop that was next to the inn. And she's like, oh, I forgot all about the book. And she'll give it to you there. That green notice pops up. And each time you get these books, you got to take it all the way back to Minal, to the library. So, give it to the purple-haired guy. He'll be so grateful you return the book. Won't pay us anything, of course. He's like, would you get another book? Yeah, I guess so. We should charge him all the gas mileage on Shalrun. This time it's in Bibliograd Harbor, and it's a Gajuma mail. So that's important. Even if you can read katakana, it's not in Bibliograd. You'll be wasting your time. It's in the Bibliograd Harbor, which is smaller, which makes things easier. And it's this guy up here, around the spiral staircase in the inn. And yeah, of course, he forgot it. There's the book. This is the house with the balcony. So if you're not sure where to go, it's got this winding staircase down and the save point, and it's the inn. And back we go to the library, give him the book. He'll say thank you. No real reward, but whatever. So you guys are great at fetching books. That's right, we are. Let's do it again. So this time it's in Kyogin, and it's a old human guy. Well, there's only one of those that we really know. This guy in the back here, who we talked to previously, who was part of the story, if you watched the walkthrough. So he's got a book. So we got that book. So basically this is just a, scavenger hunt. Blah blah blah, but for books. So here we go, back to the library in Minal. Come on, man, compensation, please. So the next one is in Norzen. It's a human grandfather, old man who lives in Norzen. It's interesting, if you go to Norzen and you've passed the point, where you've entered Eurus' lair, the final dungeon, as I have at this point, the Three Stooges will be there. But this is the old man. Talk to him and don't know why he's always angry, but maybe he doesn't like the shape of his house. So he'll give you the book. You can talk to the Shikoku no Tsubasa triplets out here, just for fun. And we'll go back to the library again. So that's all the books returned. Oh no, wait. I guess there's another one. Belsis. There's a human girl in Belsis. Okay, there's this girl at the end of the street. Who's also got a book for us. This is actually next to Maro's house. There's Maro's house there. So a lot of, walking back and forth for these mini quests. So here we are back. And yeah, here we go. This time there'll be a scene. Says we collected all the books that were due, and now he will let us use the library at our leisure. And we can check out 3 books at a time. If anybody knows if there's more to this, let me know. But there's one book we want to check out, and that's the one that the girl is interested in. And I'm going to highlight it here for you. So this one, which is kind of about world traveling. And, this is the book that the floating girl is interested in. So he'll give us that book. And T-Tray, he'll mention that Ninon would be interested in this. You can see the mushrooms there that she grew, because she liked T-Tray's mushroom soup. So we came back, and after all that side quest, you can give her this book. And she'll be happy to read that, and really grateful. Oh, she's crying. She's so happy. I guess because, all her friends left and the village people left, and because floating was just too inconvenient and nobody could live there. Only she's standing there and she can't control her force, but everybody else that comes floats around. So you can see all the mushrooms there. So I went and did some stuff. Came back, enter a dungeon or something, fight some enemies, do Maro's Salvage mini quest, just do something. And then you can come back in. You're exiting and re-entering usually doesn't help. You need to go do something and then come back and something different will happen. So you notice now she's getting better. We're actually all standing in her room instead of floating. So she said, thanks to you, she's getting better at using the force, or her force. The Feather Force! And we got the book back from her. And we said, oh, would you like, to read another book? Or is there another book you'd be interested in reading? And she said she doesn't need one. And you can return that book to the library and get different books. This is the place where you get the mushrooms. And while I'm taking a break, I'll show you this mini game, which we did, if you remember, in my walkthrough. It's kind of a fun, adventure mini game. Pick up the fish for score. Pick up the, the bats will hurt you. You gotta jump. The bubbles will prevent you from jumping. And the inner tubes will give you an extra life, or give you an extra heart. But make sure to pick up the fruit. And you basically just try to get a high score, and there's a boss. There's actually a boss at the end that you can fight. And I'll try not to die. But this is a pretty fun little mini game. If you're looking for something to do during breaks, where the mini quests, where they say, come back later, and I'll have deciphered the puzzle. Motto always says, but uh-oh. Okay, so here's the boss. Die! Throw my vegetables at you. You do have to watch out. You gotta jump that, and I timed it very badly. Timed that one badly too. And that one. Anyway, so it's kind of a fun little quest, and when you get to the end of it, you got a boss to fight, and you can get some rewards and a high score if you beat him. So she's working on controlling her force, and it's really frustrating her now. Actually, that boating mini game is something good to do, between these things, because I'm pretty sure it triggers the next step of all these, come back later quests. It's like, come back later and I'll have deciphered the riddle, or come back later and blah blah blah. So Eugene wants to talk to us privately, and at this step he's saying that her frustration is causing her force to start to overload now. And so her force is going to go, boso, like in this game a lot of people, like Vague in the beginning. Remember, his ice force went crazy, and T-Trays went crazy, because she doesn't know how to control it. So we're going to go get that calming medicine again. If you remember, we got that calming stuff for Eugene way back when he was raging, we got that calming stuff. And this guy with a bandana over his head, Igor, who used to live in Razilda, he's the one that's got it. And he's here in Papista. So if you're wondering, just head on over to Papista in the desert. And Haku, he's also here. And he'll just give you another copy of this medicine that we gave to Eugene. Hopefully you remember. This calming medicine or whatever. it's kind of hard if you don't remember where he is, because, you know, if Rezilda has been destroyed, then, you know, he won't be there. He'll be in Rezilda instead. So it depends on, you know, what you've been doing in the story so far. So give her the medicine. Annie will, of course, because she's the nurse. And that'll help calm her down. And her force won't go violent and, you know, crazy. And she'll give you an hourglass, which is a pretty rare item. I'm honestly not sure if there are other things that you can get from this side quest. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But that's, you know, there's pretty much only one more visit after that. She says, come back later. And you notice we're floating still. But actually, the next time you come back here, after doing, you know, the calming medicine, the papista part, the next time you come back here, you can actually walk normally, and you'll talk to her, and she'll say she's fully, you know, controlled her force, and maybe someday the people will come back to this village. So yeah, that's that village mini quest, and the Salvage mini quest, and the little mini game quest, and the book delivery quest. And I kind of wanted to show those because, you know, there was some of the main ones that are in this game, and, you know, there's some of the tricky ones that people have trouble with. And what would one of my Tales videos be without a fight? Yeah, gotta have a fight. So I just happened to get into a fight there, so I just recalled there wasn't a single fight in this video, so had to put a fight in. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to end the video here. I just wanted to show some of the mini quests in this game. You know, there are a lot of small quests, and I didn't want to make a video for each. I just wanted to show kind of, you know, a few of the main ones, and you know, some of the fun ones that you might be interested in doing. You know, there are a lot that are small and kind of pointless, and I just kind of wanted to show the ones maybe people were interested, you know, in that floating island and whatever. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.